Most people buying a printer this week think they're making a one-time purchase. They're not. They are entering a contract they never signed, with terms that can change after the sale, enforced by a device sitting on their desk. Consumer investigations and documented lawsuits filed between 2022 and 2025 have confirmed what the industry doesn't advertise. Some of the most popular printers on the market are designed to extract money from you long after you've paid for them. The worst offender isn't the suspicious off-brand unit. It's the one with the trusted name, the 6 months of free ink, and the fine print that locks you in for the life of the printer. We're counting down 5 from concerning to genuinely outrageous, and finishing with the 2 that actually let you own what you paid for. One of these printers will refuse to scan a document because a single yellow cartridge is empty. Another will stop working entirely if your internet goes down. Let's get into it. 4. Canon PIXMA Budget Inkjet Line. Canon's PIXMA line is the default recommendation for anyone who needs a basic home printer. Affordable hardware, reliable brand recognition, decent photo output. The budget MG and TS series sit at every major retailer between $60 and $120. Canon markets them on simplicity. Easy setup, wireless printing, all-in-one functionality. Now try to scan something with an empty yellow cartridge. Canon has designed many PIXMA models so that all ink tanks must contain ink for any function to work, including scanning, which uses no ink at all. If your yellow cartridge runs out and you need to scan a document, the printer refuses. Not because scanning requires yellow ink, because Canon's firmware links all hardware functions to the status of every cartridge simultaneously. Canon's own support documentation states it directly for affected models. The printer must have all ink tanks installed and they must all contain ink. There is no workaround. Replace the empty cartridge. The mechanism is a software interlock, not a hardware requirement. Scanning is an optical process. It involves a light source, a sensor, and a data transfer. It requires zero ink from any cartridge of any color. The decision to disable scanning when a cartridge is empty is not an engineering constraint. It is a policy decision, implemented in firmware, designed to accelerate cartridge replacement. For anyone who bought a PIXMA as an all-in-one device, for the scanner, for the copier, for the occasional print, this policy means your $80 machine becomes non-functional the moment any single cartridge depletes, regardless of what you're trying to do with it. Canon's imaging and printing division generates billions in annual revenue. The firmware that disables your scanner over an empty yellow cartridge is not a technical limitation. It is a margin decision dressed as a hardware requirement. The brand coming up next doesn't just lock your scanner, it locks your entire printer to a single ink supplier. And it does it with a firmware update delivered while you sleep. 3. HP LaserJet Legacy Samsung Models. Samsung's printer division had a genuine reputation. The Express and SLM laser series were known for reliability, clean output, and reasonable toner costs. For years, Samsung laser printers were the recommendation for small offices and home users who wanted low cost per page without the complexity of enterprise hardware. In November 2017, HP acquired Samsung's printer business for $1.05 billion. Now read what happened next. After the acquisition, HP integrated Samsung's printer portfolio into its own supply and firmware infrastructure. Models that had previously accepted third-party toner cartridges began receiving firmware updates that blocked them. The same dynamic security architecture HP uses across its own lineup was extended to those devices. Chip authentication, firmware enforcement, remote update delivery, all applied to printers consumers had purchased as Samsung products. Under Samsung's reputation, with Samsung's implied promise of open toner compatibility. The mechanism is identical to HP's broader strategy. The printer's firmware authenticates the toner cartridge chip at installation. If the chip doesn't match HP's current approved list, the cartridge is rejected. The update that changes the approved list is delivered automatically. You do not receive notice. You do not have the option to decline. For small offices that had built their printing workflow around Samsung hardware and third-party toner, saving $30 to $60 per cartridge replacement, this update did not change a setting. It changed the economics of a capital investment that had already been made. HP paid $1.05 billion for Samsung's printer division in 2017. The toner lock-in that followed that acquisition was not an oversight, it was the point. The next printer on this list is sold at every major retailer right now as the affordable family option. It ships with enough ink for a few dozen pages, and the replacement cartridges cost more than the printer itself. 2. Entry-level $50 inkjets, HP DeskJet, Canon PIXMA Entry, Epson Expression Entry. The $50 inkjet is the most purchased printer category in the world. It sits at the front of every electronics section, every back-to-school display, every holiday gift aisle. HP DeskJet, Canon PIXMA Entry-level, Epson Expression Entry-level. The names change, but the model is identical. Low upfront price, trusted brand. Looks like a deal. Now open the box and read the cartridge documentation. These printers ship with starter cartridges. Not standard cartridges, not full cartridges, starter cartridges. The distinction matters. A starter cartridge is deliberately underfilled. Independent testing has confirmed that starter cartridges in budget inkjet printers yield approximately 50 to 65 pages for black and 30 to 45 pages for color. A standard cartridge for the same printer yields 120 to 200 pages. You are not receiving a full cartridge at a reduced price. You are receiving a partial cartridge designed to run out quickly. The mechanism is the razor and blade model, executed at scale. The printer is sold at or near cost, sometimes below cost. The margin lives entirely in the consumables. A full replacement set of manufacturer cartridges for a $49 HP DeskJet retails for $52 to $68. You will spend more on your first cartridge replacement than you spent on the printer. You will do this every 2 to 3 months if you print regularly. For families printing school projects, permission slips, and boarding passes, the $50 printer is not a budget decision. It is the most expensive printer you can buy, measured over 12 months of actual use. The cost per page on a budget inkjet with manufacturer cartridges runs approximately 5 to 8 cents for black and 12 to 20 cents for color. The cost per page on an Epson EcoTank runs less than 1 cent for black. That is not a rounding difference. That is a structural difference in how the product was designed. HP's printing supplies division generated $11.3 billion in revenue in fiscal year 2024. The starter cartridge that runs out in 6 weeks is not a manufacturing constraint. It is the opening move. The printer at number 1 is the one the audience mentioned most. It offers 6 months of free ink. It requires a permanent internet connection. And once you accept the offer, it locks you into using original HP ink for the rest of its life. No exceptions, no alternatives, no exit. 1. HP Plus printers. OfficeJet Pro E-Series. HP's E-Series is positioned as the modern home office solution. The OfficeJet Pro 9015E and 9025E carry a clean design, strong feature sets, and an offer that appears at setup. 6 months of free ink through HP Instant Ink. The value proposition is clear. The fine print is not. Here is what most people miss. The 9015E is an HP Plus enabled printer, but HP Plus is optional at setup. The setup screen is designed to make activation the path of least resistance. Most people click through, and the moment they do, 3 permanent conditions take effect. First, the printer must use original HP ink cartridges for the entire life of the device. Third-party cartridges are blocked. Compatible cartridges are blocked. Refilled cartridges are blocked. This is not a temporary condition tied to the free ink period. It is permanent. Second, the printer requires a continuous internet connection to function. HP's own documentation states this explicitly. HP Plus printers are cloud-connected devices that must remain connected to the internet in order to function for the life of the printer. Third, the printer is registered to an HP account. The device is not fully yours. It is yours within the terms HP sets. The mechanism is account-level enforcement. The printer checks in with HP's servers. If the connection drops, router outage, internet service issue, travel, power fluctuation, the printer's functionality is contingent on that connection being restored. You are not operating a standalone device. You are operating a terminal on HP's network. For anyone who accepted the 6 months of free ink without reading the activation terms, and HP's own interface does not present those terms prominently, the free ink was not a gift. It was the price of a permanent commitment made on HP's behalf without your full understanding of what you were agreeing to. By 2021, HP's Instant Ink subscription service was already generating approximately $500 million annually, a number that has only grown since. HP's printing segment generated $17.3 billion in total revenue in fiscal year 2024. Supplies alone, ink and toner, accounted for $11.3 billion of that. The 6 months of free ink that initiates permanent lock-in is not a promotion. It is the most efficient customer acquisition mechanism in the consumer hardware industry. You did everything right. You bought a printer from a trusted brand. You accepted what looked like a generous offer. The terms of your purchase changed the moment you clicked confirm. Now that you know what to avoid, here are the two that actually let you own what you paid for. Best option. Number 2, Brother INKvestment tank, specifically the MFC-J4335DW, available right now at Best Buy, Amazon, Walmart, and Staples. What makes this genuinely different is the included ink supply. This printer ships with enough high-capacity ink cartridges to last up to 1 full year of average home printing, included in the box at no additional cost. The LC406XL cartridge series yields up to 6,000 pages for black and up to 5,000 pages per color. That is not a marketing estimate. That is the ISO-rated page yield at standard coverage. The full cartridge system, LC406XL black, cyan, magenta, and yellow. A standard replacement set retails for approximately $32 to $43 per cartridge, with high-yield versions available. Third-party compatible cartridges are widely available and significantly cheaper, because Brother has not, as of the time of filming, deployed firmware to block them on this model. Open a box of Brother LC406XL cartridges and the installation is tool-free. Each cartridge clicks into a color-coded slot. The ink level is visible through the printer's display without opening a menu or connecting to an app. For home offices, printing contracts, invoices, and shipping labels, this architecture means your cost per page is predictable. The printer retails for approximately $179 to $199 at major retailers, verified as of 2025. The next option solves every single problem on this list simultaneously. No cartridges, no subscriptions, no internet requirement, and enough ink in the box to last 2 years. Best option number 1, Epson EcoTank, the ET2800 for home use. The ET4850 for home offices that need scanning, copying, and higher print volume. What makes EcoTank the best option on this list is that it solves every single problem in the avoid list simultaneously. No cartridges, no chip authentication, no firmware rejection, no DRM, no subscription, no internet requirement, no account lock-in, no terms that change after purchase, no starter cartridge. The printer ships with enough ink for approximately 2 years of average home use, included in the box at no additional cost. Full ink system, Epson 502 ink bottles, black, cyan, magenta, and yellow. Each black bottle yields approximately 7,500 pages. Each color bottle yields approximately 6,000 pages. A complete genuine refill set retails for approximately $50 to $60 and is available at Amazon, Walmart, Best Buy, Costco, and directly from Epson. Price is verified as of 2025. Open an Epson EcoTank ET2800 and look at the tank panel on the front of the printer. The tanks are translucent. You can see exactly how much ink remains without opening a menu, without checking an app, without connecting to anything. The fill line is printed directly on the tank wall. For families with children, printing permission slips, school projects, last-minute boarding passes at 10 at night. The EcoTank removes the moment every household knows. The printer is not out of ink. It will not be out of ink for months. That is not a marketing claim. It is the math of 7,500 pages per bottle. The ET2800 retails for approximately $179 to $239, depending on retailer and current promotions. The ET4850 retails for approximately $349 to $400. Both are widely available at major retailers. The ink included in the box at purchase represents approximately $50 to $70 in equivalent cartridge value, which means the effective price difference between an EcoTank and a $50 budget inkjet is smaller than it appears on the shelf. and disappears entirely within the first year of use. Here is the one rule that eliminates every problem on this list before you ever walk into a store. Never buy a printer that uses standard cartridges if you print more than once a week. That single decision removes chip authentication, firmware lock-in, starter cartridge traps, and subscription requirements in one move. Tank systems and high-capacity ink-included printers are not premium products. They are the normal way a printer should work. The standard cartridge model is the anomaly. When you're standing in the aisle, look for these 5 red flags on the box. The letter E after the model number. That is HP Plus territory. Any mention of a free ink offer at setup. The phrase genuine cartridge required for full functionality. Any mention of an internet connection being required to print. And any inkjet printer under $80 that is not a laser printer. The starter cartridge math will cost you within 60 days. One thing that actually means something: ISO page yield ratings, printed on the ink bottle or cartridge packaging. That number is independently tested at standard coverage. It tells you exactly what you are buying. One phrase that means nothing: up to X pages in marketing copy. That figure is measured at 5% page coverage, approximately 1 sentence per page. It has no relationship to how you actually print. Share this with whoever in your family is about to walk into a Best Buy and grab whatever is on sale at the front of the electronics section. That sale price is not the beginning of a good deal. It is the beginning of a much longer transaction.